Hi friends, it's me Tisha, and today I'm here to tell you a story about a person that most people have never heard of, and her name is Carla Valencia. Carla was 39 years old. She was a veteran of the United States Navy serving during the Persian Gulf era. She was a sister, a daughter, an aunt, and a friend. And on October 29th of 2000, she died after falling from a telecommunications tower in Pecos, Texas. The part of the story that I think has haunted me since hearing about it about 10 years ago was that Carla wasn't even a tower climber. She had been working for a man who owns a tower company, and she had been there for about, I think it's at like maybe 2 or 3 weeks doing some house cleaning and some domestic work for him. And for whatever reason, he asked her to climb a tower to help fix some faulty equipment. She was going to be climbing, I think that it was like a 4-person crew. It was the owner, he had someone that was going to stay on the ground, and then Carla and another man were going to be climbing the tower. The other man that was climbing with Carla was actually a veteran of the industry. He had been in the industry for about 20 years, so he knew the job. He knew how to do the job. But it said that Carla had no climbing experience whatsoever. There was no formal training for her. Neither one of them was provided proper safety equipment. And for climbers, they are provided with harnesses that they wear that ties, like that connects onto the tower. So if someone were to slip or something were to happen, that equipment catches them. It keeps them from falling. Neither one of them were provided that, so they freely climbed up the tower with no sort of fall protection. The tower they were climbing was 500 feet tall. Carla and the other worker were being lifted up the tower using a rope and pulley system that was connected to a small pickup truck, and I think the report said it was a Ford Ranger. When the system failed, they both fell from the 270 feet. According to the report, what caused the system to fail was that the truck had stalled, and I'm not sure whether it was the owner or the other guy on the ground, but they went to push the clutch to restart the truck, and when they did that, the truck jumped forward, loosening the tension of the rope, and Carla and the other gentleman fell. There were workers across the field. So I'm assuming there was another business or something, but across the field, there were workers who witnessed the whole thing. And when they saw that the climbers had fallen, they ran over and they approached the crew member that was on the ground and asked, "Where are the climbers?" And he said, "They're over there, but there's nothing that anyone can do for them." So the witnesses asked, "Have you called 911?" And he said no, but at the time the owner was on the phone talking to his wife. They then asked if there was a first aid kit or any sort of first aid gear that they could use to try to help. And the worker said that he thought that there was somewhere, but he wasn't quite sure and he didn't know how to use it. So one of the witnesses jumped right in and started doing CPR. And when they heard the ambulance coming, one of the witnesses ran out to the road to wave the ambulance in. What's really disturbing is that the owner of the company quickly started cleaning the scene up. The truck had been up on, it was lifted up on, what do you call it? Jacks. He hurried up and removed the jacks. It said that by the time OSHA got there, he had already left. He was gone. And then he obtained or retained an attorney, and when he was questioned, he pled the fifth, that there was nothing that he was going to say. Ultimately, Carla died. She did not make it. The other climber did. He was badly injured, but he did survive. And when they finally were able to interview him, he said that someone had to stop the owner because if not, he would have other people killed as well. Like, they would die doing the work because of how unsafe it was. I don't know. I don't know. So, like I said, it was probably like 10 years ago when I initially heard the story. And I'm someone who, like, I want to know everything. So I wanted to find as much as I could about Carla, about who she was. Not, I feel like I had found, enough facts through the OSHA reports, and Dr. Bridget Hester had written a very detailed essay that I read, and I think Wireless Estimator had also covered the story. But again, these are telecom industry publications. There was nothing on the Today Show or CNN or NBC or the local news even. There was nothing that was covering Carla's story. But more than that, I think I really wanted to know who she was. What did she look like? Who was this woman? But I couldn't find anything. There was nothing, not a picture, not one picture could I find of Carla, not a social media account, nothing. I even, and this sounds crazy, but I even went on classmates.com. I thought maybe I knew she was from New Mexico. I had her age, so I thought like maybe if I could find someone in her class who could tell me something about Carla, or maybe they had a yearbook picture of her or something, but nothing. I couldn't find anything about her. So I think that's also why I feel like her story has haunted me, and I've on many days have thought about Carla and who she was, and how tragic it is that she died such a horrific death, and it's sort of like there's no proof of her life, at least for us to see. When I talk about tower climbing, I think people initially start thinking about the technology. They think about the network, our connection, being able to use, our iPhones or, our internet. But when you see a cell phone tower, I want you to think that there's a human that built that tower. There's a human that climbs that tower to maintain it, to decommission it if it has to come down. I mean, there are human beings who are doing a very dangerous job every single day all around the world to keep us connected. And when there are accidents, when they get hurt, when they lose their life, there's very little coverage of that, and there are very little repercussions for that. And that's not right. It's just not right. So today I'm thankful for the climbers who are doing the job that they do for me and my family, but I'm also taking time to remember the climbers who have lost their life doing that job. And today I'm thinking of Carla Valencia. Thank you for watching. Be well, take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and I will see you again soon. Take care.